we're starting the campus tour today on or in the Sir Duncan Rice Library. So I'm going to show you the ground floor of the library, which opened up in 2012. And I'm going to kind of show you the internal areas of the ground floor. So we might see a little bit of the gallery as well. But yeah, so my name is Antia, and as always, I'm here on a sunny Friday to show you the campus of the University of Aberdeen. So welcome to the ground floor of the university. So as you can see all 7 floors through here. And if we walk straight right here, we can see that the Duncan Rice Library was opened by the Queen on September 2012, or in September 2012. And here we actually have Sir Duncan Rice, and right next to Sir Duncan Rice, here we have the gallery, which is my personal favorite space, actually. Perhaps on the whole of the campus, but this is just some information about the exhibition. The exhibition that's running at the moment. So this is the name of this. So we're just gonna see a tiny bit of the gallery. So you'll have to come to Aberdeen yourself before September to actually get the full picture of the exhibition. But there's a lot of inspiration right here. And as you can hear, it's really fascinating, actually. But yeah, so as mentioned, you will have to come and see yourself if you're in Aberdeen, and outside here. So you can actually have your lunch behind the gallery right here, and as you can see, it overlooks one of the football fields, and just, the outside of the university. And this is also an interesting thing. So downstairs of the gallery we have the special collection area, and then upstairs you have the 7 floors. So each floor is specific to an area of study, and you also have you have various things there. So you have group rooms, group working spaces, you have like individual working spaces as well. You have computers on each floor. We also have a few conference rooms in there. So yeah, there are plenty of things that you can find in the Sir Duncan Rice Library. And I believe that it's open, from 8 a.m. During term time to, I believe, midnight, usually, from Monday through Sunday. I think on Fridays it might close at 10 p.m. But all this information you can find on our website, as well as when the actual term begins. So the term this year will or has an early start, so it's early September. So if you are a first year student, or whether it's postgraduate or undergraduate, then I look forward for you to actually see the campus, like live, if that makes sense. So onto the left hand side right here, this is the Fraser Noble building. This is where the School of the Physical Sciences is. So if you are an engineering student or a mathematics student, you will spend a lot of time in the Fraser Noble building. But it's also where a lot of like theater halls are, so or lecture theater halls. So you don't have to be an engineering or mathematics student to actually have classes in there, but more areas of studies do use the Fraser Noble building, as well as the Meston building that we can see right in front of us here. So the Meston building is actually, I would say, one of the larger buildings on campus. We have a lot of tutorial rooms, a lot of labs that are conducted there, as well as in Fraser Noble building actually, and many other lecture halls that are in the Meston building. So it's where biology, chemistry, physics, it's where those, as well as the geosciences actually, that's where they are based. So I would, definitely recommend that if you are a science student to do a lot of research when it comes to the Meston building, just because it might be a little bit hard to find sometimes, but it's you kind of get to know the building a little bit more the more that you're on campus. So as you can see, it's a very large building from here, and so right now we're walking down, I would say, Elphinstone Road, as well as, or the conjunction between Elphinstone Road and the Meston Walk. And as we're walking, you can still see we're still walking alongside the Meston building. Okay, so that's Elphinstone Road, pretty much, that we've just walked along, and as you can see, we're still by the Meston building, but this is actually where we have a second entrance to the Meston building. So depending on where you're coming from, it might be easier for you to get in at a specific place, but just there is where our second entrance is. And if we turn back, so that was the Elphinstone Road that we just walked along, and right here, this is where the Elphinstone Road as well as Meston Walk actually meet. And this building right here, this is the Cromby Annex. So this is where our Department of History is. We don't have a lot of or any classes here that are held here, but it's a good place to know about if you are a potential history student, or if you are a first year student that's coming in and you're doing history, or you're doing a history course, because the professors and any staff that work the history department, this is where they're at. So I'm just going to show you the entrance. So this is yeah, so this is the Cromby Annex. This is the entrance to the Cromby Annex. So as you can see, it's not a very large building. However, it's really useful if you're doing a history course to know about this, because if you're wanting to speak to a certain professor about, let's say, an essay or just anything really that has to do with the course, you will be able to hopefully find where you're going with this tour. Or hopefully this tour is giving you like an idea of actually like where certain things are. But that's, I would say, one of the, I guess, hidden areas on campus. So yeah. And as you can see, we're actually walking down to King's College. So a few more tips if you are an incoming first year student. The first thing that I would advise you to do is acquire a campus map, which you will be handed during the Freshers Week. So, you know, or you can actually find the map on our website, I believe, and to study the Old Aberdeen campus, because you're not necessarily limited to a specific building here, but you are likely to have classes in, you know, on most of the campus, or you'll have like your exams in most of the campus. So it's really good to get to know even the buildings that may seem a little bit hidden, because you may have an exam there, let's say, you know, during the month of December or the month of May, which is our exam seasons. So yeah, so a campus map is very good to actually have. But here we have part of King's College. So this is actually the chapel I'm showing you, and today we're going to focus on just this open area right here. I think my favorite thing about the campus is that it's quite like open, I would say. So it's easier to see certain buildings and etc. So I really enjoy that. So just in front of us right here, this is the Linklater rooms, as well as Elphinston Hall right there, and the lawn right here is Elphinston Lawn, and then behind the trees we have the New King's building. And in the New King's building we have a lot of lectures that are conducted in there, so especially first, second, and third year, I would say, lectures, depending on what you're studying. So there's no specific department that the New King's building is kind of like specified for, but we have all sorts of lectures in there. And then in the Elphinston Hall right there, as well as the Linklater rooms, we have a lot of conferences in there. We have exams that are conducted in there. We have what is it called? Ceilidhs. So Ceilidhs are Scottish dance parties, if you're unfamiliar with these, and yeah, they're really fun. You'll encounter them during the like society ball, you know, depending on what kind of society you're in. But I believe that most societies actually have Ceilidhs. You will, if you're coming for Freshers Week, we have a the Aberdeen Student Union actually holds a freshers Kaylee, so that's really fun. And yeah, so that's pretty much Elphinstone. We also have weddings that are conducted in there, as well as on the lawn. Graduation was conducted on the lawn, as well as in the Elphinstone Hall. And many other things, I would say. So I'm gonna finish off with like a hidden area, another hidden area. So in order to get to the old Senate room, if you have a conference in there, or if you have a meeting in there, or a class in there, a lot of societies do use the Senate room as well. For, I believe that the Nordic Society, for instance, had some of their events in there, so it can be used for that as well. You can get to the Senate room from here, so it's just behind the Elphinstone Hall as well as Linklater rooms. You have like this tiny, really peaceful area, which you can, you know, have your lunch. You can have like a an enjoyable walk, I would say. And as you walk alongside it, you can eventually get to the old Senate room. I really enjoy the fact that, you know, it's marked like where to actually go so that you don't get lost. Yep, so here we go. This is the old Senate room. So, as mentioned, many things happen in there. Whether it's, you know, societies meeting up there, or you know, whether it's conferences. And I believe that one of the competitions that was held by the university, the light bulb competition, was also held in there. So there are many things that you can do at the university, I would say, including, you know, competing to start up or to receive. I believe that the prize for the light bulb competition was kind of like funds to start up your company and stuff like that. So the university really does try to encourage a student to look beyond your studies, or to actually apply your studies, which I think is really good. But yeah, so we can actually, so once you walk down the secret path that I just showed you, you can eventually get to the King's Pitches, which is right here. So King's Pitches is used for a lot of different sports, so whether it's rugby, and like we may have field hockey up here, we may have, you know, any other sport that can really use an open area with grass and etc. They're usually here. So yeah, and other sports that are unable to use the King's Pitches usually use the building that's next to the King's Pitches. So it's called the King's Pavilion. So I know that the Boxing Society have been there this past year, the Dance Society, the Circus Society. We have a great Circus Society. They also actually use the King's Pitches as well, I believe. And the Rowing Society, the Weightlifting Society. So all of these are pretty amazing. But yeah, so I'm actually gonna finish a tour by showing you or talking about the Regent building. So this is Regent Walk that we're walking up, and this building right here, behind the plants and the tree, this is the Regent building. So in the Regent building we have many different things that usually happen here. We have the language center is actually located here. We have lectures that are conducted here. We have tutorials that are conducted but most of all, it's actually one of the busiest buildings right now during the summer because the language center. So if you do not meet the English language test scores or requirements, you can actually inquire to come for a pre-sessional English course. And if you would like any more information about that, you're more than welcome to email us at study@abdn.ac.uk, and we'll see what we can do for you. And we also have a chat on our website, as you may know, that's open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. British Standard Time on weekdays, so you're more than welcome to chat with us on the chat as well. And yeah, well, thank you so much for coming with me on this short campus tour that kind of involved many secret paths. And see you next week. Yeah, have a good day.